and thanks so much for joining us. My name is Carla. I am the Director of User Engagement at NeedyMeds. And today we're kicking off the presentation with just some tips so that you can make the most out of the presentation, which again is RemediChain, a new kind of reclamation program presented by our partner, Good Shepherd Pharmacy. So if you do have questions, and again, we're just going to dive right in and I'll offer some tips about how to make the most out of today's presentation, which is, first of all, if you do have any questions, go ahead and type them into the questions section of your GoToWebinar control panel. Just keep in mind, we do reserve answering questions until the end. And if we don't have the chance to answer your particular question, we will be in touch. We will also provide the contact information for both NeedyMeds and Good Shepherd Pharmacy as well. We're happy to let you know that the webinar is being recorded and will be posted on the NeedyMeds YouTube channel. And you can find our PowerPoint slide decks and other materials we thought you'd be interested in that handout section of your control panel. So let's get started with what is NeedyMeds. For those of you not familiar with us, NeedyMeds is a national nonprofit founded more than 2 decades ago by retired family physician Dr. Richard Sagel, and Rich is still the president. On our screen is our mission statement, a statement about how we achieve that mission, and our vision statement. But simply put, NeedyMeds connects people to programs that will help them afford their healthcare expenses. And we do that free and anonymously through our website, needymeds.org, and helpline, 1-800-503-6897. And what you're looking at now is the homepage of our website. And I like to put that up because our website is really the face of our organization. And as you can see, it's full of information. So I encourage you to browse the site further when you have time. For now, I just want to point out a few resources. If you're looking for a healthcare cost savings program, you'll want to begin your search with the Healthcare Savings tab. Right next to that is the Education tab. This is where you'll find our educational information, and you can sign up for webinars, our monthly newsletter Vitals, and order brochures, for example. I mentioned that today's webinar is being recorded, and you will be able to find that recording on our YouTube channel, which is at the top right of our homepage with the rest of the social media icons. You can also check out and register for future webinars on the calendar of events on the bottom right hand of our homepage. Now, as you saw, a big part of our mission is educating people. And of course, we do that by letting them know about NeedyMeds and the healthcare savings resources we offer, but also by sharing other resources and information from expert partners, which is why we are so pleased to have Jeff Davis from Good Shepherd Pharmacy here with us today. So first, let me just tell you a little bit about Good Shepherd Pharmacy. They are a nonprofit pharmacy that will help you with prescription drug prices. I recommend checking out their website to learn more about it at goodsheprx.com right on your screen, because today's presentation is going to focus on Good Shepherd Pharmacy's RemediChain initiative. RemediChain is their new platform that allows individuals to donate unused medications to patients in need. And to walk us through how to use the platform and how using the platform will allow you to help someone in need, reduce medical waste, and protect the environment is Jeff Davis. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about Jeff. Until joining Good Shepherd Pharmacy in September 2020, Jeff spent almost 20 years in various supply chain management roles, such as operations, planning, and systems management. He is currently the Chief Revenue Officer for Good Shepherd Pharmacy and is passionate about providing healthcare services to the underserved members of the community and working towards making healthcare affordable for all. So without further ado, and hopefully seamlessly, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic and the screen to Jeff So bear with us as we make that transition. And as Jeff is grabbing the screen, I will remind you again that if you do have questions, you can feel free to type them into that questions section of your GoToWebinar control panel, and we'll do our best to get to those at the end of the presentation. So with that, I'll pass the mic to Jeff. Thanks, Jeff, for being here, and everybody enjoy the presentation.
Thank you so much, Carla. We really appreciate the opportunity to do this webinar. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. I want to take this opportunity to introduce you to RemediChain, a one-of-a-kind medication reclamation program. To begin, let me provide some background information about who we are and the origins of our program. In 2015, Phil Baker, a local Memphis pharmacist, started Good Shepherd Pharmacy, a membership-based pharmacy dedicated to serving the underserved, uninsured members of the community. Good Shepherd offers uninsured patients access to a wide range of generic medications, brand name medications, and several types of insulin at affordable prices. If patients do not have a provider, Good Shepherd has several telehealth membership options as well. Shortly after opening Good Shepherd, Dr. Baker began seeing people frequently come into the pharmacy with bags of unopened, unused medications, in some cases very expensive medications, hoping to donate them to the pharmacy so the unused medication could go to someone in need. At that time, accepting medication donations from individuals was illegal, but it was from these encounters that an idea was born. Unused medications, it's a universal problem. Almost all of us have a cabinet or drawer full of extra, unused, or unneeded medications. The reasons for this are varied. Was the medication prescribed but ultimately not needed? Maybe the medication wasn't effective and your doctor prescribed something else. Perhaps the doctor wrote a script for a 30-day supply and you only needed a 10-day supply, leaving a mostly unused prescription bottle. Did the medication expire before you used it all? Maybe the reason you have unused or extra medications is entirely different. At some point, almost everyone asks themselves, what can I do with my unused medications? It's a unique question in the sense that while it applies to almost everyone, most don't know the best answer. Unfortunately, most people will choose to dispose of their unused medications, and many of those will do so in a manner that is not environmentally friendly. The good news is that now there is an effective resource to help people answer the question of what to do with unused medications, the RemediChain program. We hope that our efforts of the past few years will offer a solution that helps everyone. In 2019, Dr. Baker successfully lobbied the Tennessee State Legislature to enact new laws that would finally allow nonprofit pharmacies like Good Shepherd to accept medication donations from individuals. In March of 2020, the RemediChain program was launched with Phase 1 limited to oral chemo meds. RemediChain's mission is split into two parts. The first is to provide an outlet where people can donate their unused medications to be matched with people in need at no cost to the recipient. Many medications are expensive and are not fully covered by insurance. By matching donations to those in need, we can repurpose costly medications and get them to patients who have dire need of them but might not be able to afford them otherwise. To date, we've received almost $4 million retail value worth of donations, and we've matched meds with worth over $700,000 to patients in need at no cost. This year, we intend to expand our program from chemo meds to include select brand name medications as well. The second part of RemediChain's mission is to take the guesswork out of safe medication disposal. Many medications are dangerous and they should never be thrown in the household trash where they will end up in a landfill or flushed down the toilet where they will go into the local sewer system. Many people aren't aware that the FDA has a list of do not flush medications and other guidelines for proper and safe medication disposal. Using the RemediChain platform, our system will help users locate safe disposal take-back centers or medication drop-off sites. Now, let's take a minute to walk you through how our donation process works. If you have unopened, unexpired chemo medications you'd like to donate, the first step is to complete our online donation form. There are two ways to access this form. The first is to visit our website, www.remedichain.org, and click the Donate Meds tab at the top of the homepage. You will then be redirected to our online donation form. The second way to access the online donation form is to text #FlipYourScript to 833-999-1003. You will receive a reply with a link to our online donation form and an informative video about our donation process. Once you've accessed the online donation form, follow a few quick, easy steps to submit your donation request. Once we've received the submitted form, our team will reach out to you with further instructions and will provide a link for you to print a prepaid shipping label to use when sending the medication. If you have multiple medications to donate, please fill out a separate online donation form for each medication. Now we'll talk about how someone can receive medication. If you're struggling to afford your chemo medications or know of someone who is, the next section will provide info on how you can register with us as a patient to receive donated meds at no cost. To register with us as a patient, please visit our website and click the Patient Registration tab at the top of the homepage. You will then be redirected to our online patient registration form. Once you've accessed the online patient registration form, please fill the form out completely and submit. Once the form is submitted, our team will reach out to you to discuss the next steps. Now we'll take a few moments to cover how to get a real-time view of our available inventory. To view our inventory of medications available to match with patients, please visit our website and click the Available Meds tab at the top of the homepage. You will be redirected to our Inventory app. The Inventory app works on the Google AppSheet platform and can be viewed in an internet browser or on a device such as a phone or a tablet. The app is free to download, but requires a Gmail sign-in to access. Once the app loads, you can tap on the Available Inventory icon to pull up the main menu. Here you can view our full list of medications and the total quantity on hand for each medication. You can search through the list of medications by scrolling up or down, or by clicking the magnifying glass icon in the top right corner of the screen. The small arrow on the right side of the screen indicates there is additional information available in a submenu. For our example, we'll select the medication Afinitor. We'll tap on the line for Afinitor to view the additional information. Once we've selected to view further information for our inventory of Afinitor, we see a breakdown of the available doses on hand with a sum of the quantity on hand for each. To view further information about our inventory for a particular dose, tap that line to access the next submenu. For this example, we'll look at the 5 milligram dose. Once we've selected the submenu for Afinitor 5 milligram, we see a further breakdown of our inventory by expiration date and quantity on hand by expiration date. We can scroll left or right on this menu to see information such as the NDC, whether the medication is in tablet or capsule form, the drug manufacturer, and the manufacturer lot number. We want to thank you for taking the time today to learn more about our program. If you would like more information or have any questions, please reach out to our team by calling 833-999-1003 or visit our website at www.RemediChain.org.
Jeff, thank you so much for that very thorough and, most importantly, easy to understand presentation. I want to make sure you are able to see my screen, Jeff. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. What I'm inspired by listening to the presentation is not only the fact that Dr. Baker had an idea and acted on it, but that it filled these two really important needs, one of which, how to get rid of meds that you don't need. And as you said, a lot of us are in that situation often. And then figuring out how to match those with people in need. but I love that RemediChain went above and beyond making this process easy. So I think that's why today's presentation was really important, because it sounds, if like me, if it's something that you're not familiar with, it sounds like it has the potential of being complicated. I think RemediChain has gone, and the team there has gone above and beyond to make it easy, not only for the donors of medications, such as hashtag flip your script, but equally importantly, or maybe even more importantly, for the patients to register. So thank you so much. And again, as Jeff said, if you do have questions, you can go ahead. Excuse me, as I said in the beginning, if you do have questions, you can go ahead and submit them into the questions section of your GoToWebinar control panel. And as I said, we will do our best to get, I see some coming in, and we'll do our best to get to those questions. If we don't, we will provide the contact information so you can reach out to our organizations, or you can expect us to follow up with you via email. And before we get to those questions coming in, I do want to remind those of us joining us that if you are having difficulty accessing medications you may need, we also hope that you remember that NeedyMeds is here as a source of support as well. What you're looking at on the screen of all of our healthcare savings resources that can be found on, NeedyMeds.org under that healthcare savings tab I had the opportunity to point out in the beginning of the presentation. So with that, and again, it's worth mentioning, in addition to checking out that healthcare savings tab, you can reach out to our call center counselors that are available weekdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and we also have Spanish-speaking counselors. And if you'd like to learn more about NeedyMeds, join us for one of our overview webinars. And I also mentioned at the beginning, you can sign up for these and other upcoming webinars on the calendar of events on the bottom right hand of NeedyMeds.org. So let's get to some of those questions coming in. And as we do, as promised, I'm leaving up the contact information for Good Shepherd Pharmacy, which again is a great source of support if you're having trouble affording your medication. So check out goodsheprx.com when you have time. Of course, there's a contact information from RemediChain if you are able to be a donor or interested in registering as a patient, and you'll find my contact information and the contact information for NeedyMeds at the bottom of that screen. So Jeff, we're getting a bunch of questions coming in, and the first one is, and I bet you get this all the time, who can actually donate?
Yeah, we do get that question a lot. So the way that when we had the legislation changed in the state of Tennessee, we had the law written so that we can accept donations from anywhere within the United States. We can accept donations from any individual. Unfortunately, at this time, we are not able to accept donations internationally. I have had a few people contact me, from Canada or Australia, about donating, but we can't do those at this time. But anywhere within the United States, we can donate. We can accept the donation. You don't necessarily have to be the person the medication was prescribed to. If you're a friend or a family member of someone who wants to donate some medications on their behalf, you can certainly do that.
Oh, thank you so much, Jeff, and thank you to our audience member for that question. I'm glad you had the opportunity to talk about not being able to, at this time, accept international donations. And importantly, that you can donate if you have medications for a family member. I know many of us have been in a position where the caregiver for a family member, and the person might not be able to make the donation themselves. But it's wonderful to know that you can step up for a patient, client, family member, neighbor, or loved one to do that.
Yes, we also have some healthcare providers that work in oncology pharmacies and things like that, who's kind of have volunteered to serve as somewhat unofficial collection points. So what they'll do is, people will come to them, patients come into their facility and they have these meds, and the provider is aware of our program, so they'll just collect the meds, and once they have several to ship to us, they'll send them to us like that. So we can, if there's any healthcare providers that are watching this webinar that are interested in kind of serving in that role as well, we'd be happy to have them as part of this program.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm glad you had the opportunity to share that, because it also, to our audience members, as you said, if we have any audience members that are healthcare providers themselves, but those of you that are patients or listening on behalf of someone, it's a good opportunity. It's a good thing to know so that you can mention it to your healthcare providers if opportunities should arise. And we have a question coming in, Jeff, about what exactly can be donated.
So right now, a legal donation is anything that is unexpired or unopened in like a manufactured foil sealed bottle or an unopened blister pack. We cannot accept anything that is in one of those amber pharmacy vials. Essentially, if you can pour the medication into your hand, we can't take it. As far as blister packs, those are the packs where you pop the pills individually out the back of the pack. Let's just say that there's a pack of 14 and 3 of the pills have been used, but the other 11 have not been used. We can take partials like that. We just can't take anything where it looks like the integrity of the packaging has been compromised, or if it's in one of those amber pharmacy vials.
Oh, that's a good question. And the way you describe it really does make sense. If you can pour it into your hand, you can't accept it because, as you said, the integrity of the medication may have been compromised. But if it's a blister pack, you can clearly see that at least portions of that medication have not been touched. That's super important.
Correct.
And here's another good question. This is from, it looks like a potential patient that might be interested in registering. Do I have to qualify to receive medication?
So essentially, that depends on the state that you're in. All of the states have individual laws governing donated drug repository programs and who can receive the medications. Most states have some type of legislation in place that has guidelines. You have to either not have insurance, or you have to be under 300% of the federal poverty level. There's different things, and it varies by states. There are a handful of states that do not have laws pertaining to donated, reclaimed drugs. So, we're not able to assist patients in those states where there's no legislation existing on it. But we essentially take it on a case-by-case basis. If a patient reaches out to us, that's part of the next steps process. We see where they're at, and we go, look and see what the laws are for that state, and then determine on a case-by-case basis whether they qualify. If they do qualify for the medication, they receive everything at no cost. And they can receive, if we have 6 to 8 months of the medication on hand, and they need it for 6 to 8 months, they'll get it every single month for free. They don't even have to pay for the shipping.
That's fantastic. So we do our best to keep the questions portion of the presentation relatively brief. So if you did have a question and we didn't get a chance to answer it, again, we will follow up with you via email, or you can reach out directly to RemediChain. And I recommend doing that and reaching out to that phone number, 833-999-1003, if you have questions about your particular situation. Of course, you can reach out to them via email or visit www.remedichain.org. With that, I want to thank Jeff so much for sharing his expertise with the NeedyMeds audience, and of course, thank Good Shepherd Pharmacy and RemediChain for their partnership. It was a great opportunity to showcase the important work you all do and why we are so proud to have you guys as partners. To our audience, thank you so much for taking time as your busy schedules to join us for a NeedyMeds presentation and learn more about RemediChain. We do hope you check them out. Thanks so much, everybody, and I do hope to see all of your names pop up at future webinars. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of the day. Take care.
Thank you.